In every brushstroke, in every shade, beauty is revealed and questioned. This film explores how society perceives beauty, how skin tones shape experiences, and how art becomes a mirror of identity.
You don't like it?
No, it's too dark for me.
Oh, I see. But it's actually beautiful.
Hmm, you think?
Of course.
Well, that's good for you. Oh, you look beautiful for a black girl.
Oh, you're also a black girl. We are Africans, like we are black girls.
No, I'm light skinned.
But you're still a black girl. Yeah.
I'm not a black girl, I'm a light skinned baby.
Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Omosede, and today's film is something very special. It's titled The Art of Being Seen. As you can see, we are somewhere in Lagos. Should I give a shout out? Okay, yeah. We are actually in Otega Studios along Ojodu in Lagos State. But if I didn't tell you that, you'd have probably thought I was in the art museum, right? So that is the conception of how beauty can be perceived, which is what we're going to be discussing today. Now, it's come to light in my time here on earth that there is a certain preferential treatment that is given to a certain woman of a certain skin tone, especially for those of us living in Nigeria. So today we're going to be interviewing a couple of beautiful ladies with creative minds and just asking them to share their personal experiences on how they've been perceived by society, most especially defined by their skin tone.
There is something beautiful about art. It tells a story without saying a word. Hi, I'm Daniela, a filmmaker, content creator, entrepreneur, a mom and a wife, and a passionate storyteller. So I'm in the set of The Art of Being Seen.
Hello, beautifuls. My name is Muna Chimso Wina. I am a filmmaker and a film director, and I'm here in this beautiful gallery on the first episode of The Art of Being Seen. See you soon.
This is beautiful. Art is beautiful. Well, I know by now you'll be wondering, who is this beautiful damsel walking past this beautiful art? Okay, I'll do you the favor to introduce myself as your beautiful Sharonese Imirua. I'm an actress, a model, a content creator, and of course, I won't miss out on the tech industry. I'm a techie girl. And I'm here today on the series of The Art of Being Seen. And I'm sure you will enjoy this episode. Thank you and see you soon.
Hi, beautiful. Welcome to another episode. What is beauty and what is art? It's a subjective question that can be answered in various ways. For instance, here is this wonderful artwork. Some people may look at this and wonder, does this make any sense? To the natural naked eyes, it might just look like a bunch of colors and random painting. But to the eye that is actually waiting to see beauty and to observe and appreciate the art that has been done here, this is a marvelous piece of work. This can be interpreted in so many ways. So if we are able to dissect art this way, what much more us as humans, most especially women living in Nigeria? Welcome to the Art of Being Seen. I hope you enjoy it. Now, just before we jump into the conversation, I think I should read something with you that kind of triggered this entire conversation. So this is an Instagram comment. There was a beautiful dark-skinned lady. She posted a video of herself, of her achievements, of, I think it was more like a year in life. She was just trying to show us things that she had achieved. And this very wonderful man titled I'm going to give you his Instagram handle, so do with it as you please. Ochoromema, spelled Ochromemma on Instagram. His comments reads as such: Damilola, you are pretty. Pretty face, straight legs, decent height, etc. I like that about you. Apart from your physical looks, you have other great qualities. Good sense of dressing, cautious, ambitious, hardworking, a real hustler. So far, so good, right? And then he goes to say, I like all this about you, but you are too dark for me. Mind you, this is a complete stranger. He continues, I can't date you. Not like she ever asked him in the first place. Because your complexion will make me to be, let's ignore the English. Let's just assume he has a brain. So he says, because your complexion will make me to be spending so much money buying fluorescent bulbs all the time. This is because even with the 6 fluorescent bulbs currently in my parlor, I won't be able to see you at night. I will need to buy and install at least 3 dozens of fluorescent bulbs in my parlor just to be able to see you at night. Now, when you read such a comment and you are also a dark-skinned woman, it kind of triggers something in you. First of all, this was unprovoked, mind you. Like I said, this was a hardworking lady, beautiful, gorgeous sister that posted a video of her achievements, all she had been able to achieve both professionally and personally. And this man came out of nowhere and felt the need to buy data and leave such a cruel comment, which now made me start to think that in my own personal experience, especially in life, I have experienced a lot of such events. And that being said, coming from somebody like me that has been in rooms of even different races, and what I've observed is that when I speak to people of other races, for instance, I'm speaking to a white man, the very first comment I get is, oh my God, you're such a beautiful African woman. And I'm like, thank you. But when you are speaking to, most especially Nigerian men, let's bring it home, the conversation is a little bit different. You get things like, oh, you are so pretty for a black woman. Or it's always very complexion centered. There was a day I was at the market and most of the comments, all the market women, they were coming to me and they were saying, oh gosh, what cream do you use? I really like your skin. I really like your skin. And it made me feel so good because I just realized that all my life I've been unintentionally trying to maintain my skin tone. For instance, if you go to the supermarket and you are trying to get just something as simple as like a face cream, you always, especially as dark-skinned women that are conscious, we always have to read all the ingredients. Is there lightening? Is there brightening? Now I'm forced to use baby products because those are the only products that don't have such chemicals. Because I'm intentionally trying to make sure that I maintain this skin tone. When I was a teenager, I was trying different products as you do when you start to have pimples and acne. And there was a day my neighbor pulled me aside and he asked me, actually he didn't even ask, it was more of a comment. He was like, why? He started screaming at me in public. Why? Why would you touch your skin? You were so much more pretty when you were darker. Because unknowing to me, I had been using all these things for my face. So my face had become way visibly lighter than the rest of my body. So he just assumed that I was trying to bleach. And I was confused for 2 reasons. One, because I would have preferred if he had asked me about it because it wasn't an intentional act. And 2, he had never one day seen me in all the years that we had lived together and called me beautiful when my skin had not changed. So it kind of made me now reflect that, oh, is it only when you are lighter that you get more visible, you are more noticed? And also, if dark skin was so valued, why did nobody ever bother to mention it until my skin tone changed? So right now, I'm going to be answering a few questions and we'll see how it goes. Thank you, Samuela Dennis, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Today's film is about the art of being seen. And as a beautiful black-skinned African woman, we just have a few questions to ask you.
Okay.
So the first question is, when you hear the word beautiful, what image comes to mind and why?
Okay, talking about beautiful, we are not only talking about being pretty facially. Beauty comes in different form. It can be character or attitude or it can be within your skin, like your skin tone or color. So that's what comes in mind.
When I hear the word beautiful, what comes to my mind is transparency. Because to me, beauty is all around us and it's something that shines from within.
Okay. So another question. Do you feel society defines beauty differently for light skinned and dark skinned women in Nigeria?
Yes, I do. I've experienced it on several occasions. In secondary school, I went to a British secondary school, so we had a lot of half castes, we had white people, so I've always been around all races. And my best friend at the time till today, she's half caste, so she's very light skinned. But you would know that she's obviously a black girl, but she's very light skinned. And I remember when we used to do beauty competitions, are just all those vain things that young girls do. And every time everybody would accuse her, like, oh, you are not pretty. You are only fine because you are light skinned. And I remember back then I used to defend her and say, like, oh, when she got darker, when she was sunburnt, she was still beautiful. Like it always felt like we needed to prove that there was beauty beyond the skin tone. So yeah, it's something that I've experienced right from childhood. Have you been told in your lifetime that you're extremely beautiful?
Oh, yeah, I've heard it a lot.
And how did that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good. I mean, hearing and knowing that I am, endowed and created in God's image and likeness.
How do you think skin tone influences those who get approached in Nigeria's toasting culture? So, to rephrase the question, what I'm trying to ask is as a light skinned woman growing up from your own personal experiences, how do you think that the toasting culture was in relation to you?
Okay, from my own understanding about that, I think skin tone has to do a lot with how people see you. Okay, let me explain. For example, if you're a fair person like a light skinned person, you're being perceived as someone that is, in the eyes of people, right? So you're always in the eyes of people. And I think it's not supposed to be, but that's just the perspective of a lot of people, especially here in Nigeria, which is my country, because I have to talk because this is where I've had the experience, you're just being perceived as, oh, this person is fair. So because you're fair, when you enter a room, people notices you first of all. So they just feel that that light skin is just making you very noticeable to people. So as a light-skinned person, I've had a lot of experiences where, even though sometimes it's kind of embarrassing, where everybody's eyes is just on you, like you walk into a room where there are other beautiful women, but because you are very light-skinned and then beautiful, you just draw some sort of attention. And sometimes it can be really embarrassing. And even though most times I don't tend to understand it, I know that the only reason possible could be that, oh, this girl is very light and she's very visible. Yeah.
Thank you. You mentioned that you're an actress. Would you say your skin tone has helped you gain more roles than your darker counterparts?
Oh my God. See, I don't know, right? The reason I say I don't know is because I'm not sure I've been called before and then I'm not sure I've been called before and experienced this energy or had this energy that I was called because I am fair in complexion. But I've heard a lot of people say that light-skinned girls, they have this privilege of getting more roles in the industry because, because you are light-skinned, you're there, like you're very flashy, and even when you were acting and all of that. So people most times don't even look at the acting itself. They look at, oh, this girl, she's very pretty, she's fair, she's in everybody's eyes. So they feel, light-skinned people will be able to draw that attention they need from people. So that's just what I can
That's a
say
good
about that.
point. Thank you for sharing that.
In Nigeria, toasting is often playful but also revealing. How do you think skin tone influence or get approached?
In general, when it comes to toasting in Nigeria, I have to say, because this podcast is meant to be very, this film rather is meant to be very transparent. Nigeria has a very sick toasting culture. And I say this because growing up, when I was a teenager, I received more toasters than when I actually got to the age to be toasted. So there's a little bit of pedophilia underlying in Nigerian toasting culture. But yes, even as a teenager, there was a lot of like when my friends and I would go out, naturally, the most light skinned of us would get the more toasters than the other dark skin. I think Nigeria and most countries in Africa have always had that colorism problem. I don't know if it's a domino effect of the entire colonization, because it seems like we equate light skinned to light and we equate dark skinned to darkness, which doesn't even make sense because as Africans, we are all generally black people, whether you are light skinned, whether you are albino, whatever physical form you come in, you are still a black person genetically. But yes, I think there's a big issue of colorism. If you go to the markets, it's very obvious. Almost every cream you see there has a brightening effect, has a lightening effect. And I think that too kind of translates to the mental state in which most of our men are in, where you see, even on Instagram, you see it a lot on social media. You see influencers that look a certain way, getting more deals, more businesses, or more traction than darker skinned females. I think for the darker women, we have so much more to prove. It's always like, oh, look at us, we are still beautiful. It's almost like you need to fight to be seen. Do you feel society defines beauty differently for light skinned and dark skinned women in Nigeria?
Yeah.
Why do you say so?
Okay. Society differentiates light skin and dark skin. Some people think that dark skin people are not pretty enough, are not beautiful, but I can say dark skin people are more beautiful than light skin people.
Aren't you being biased?
No. So, have you ever felt that admiration or romantic attention was tied more to complexion than to personality?
Mm, I'll be lying if I say no, because in my younger years, when I used to date for the sake of dating, I think I've experienced that superficial type of love where and I think truthfully, I won't blame it completely on color. I would also blame it on the mentality, because when you are younger, you unfortunately date men that are also mentally immature. So they are mostly concerned about the physicals, how you look, how you present. And like I said, because light skin is easier to, in some people's mind, it's easier to see, it's easier to attract, it's more attractive, as they say. So yes, I have felt that way in my younger years. But I think now that I look at partnerships and relationships in a completely different context, it doesn't really matter that much to me.
Wow. So, what does it feel like when someone praises you only for your looks without seeing your deep qualities?
It feels very dishonest. I think because I'm somebody that has so much to give on the inside. So like I do appreciate it, especially when it comes from especially when it comes from like my fellow woman. It makes me feel like, oh, I'm like a cutie patootie. It makes me feel very bonita. But I think when it comes from men, I am not really one to sort or go after just physical praises. I would prefer for somebody to praise me for how smart I am or how kind I am. But yeah, it's nice when it does come, when you can feel the honesty behind it. But for most times, it's usually very dishonest. It's more of like, oh, you look good. And then there's an ulterior motive behind it. So if that's the case, then I don't appreciate it. Can you please share a moment when someone else's comments about your appearance deeply affected how you see yourself?
Someone else's comment. I'm not sure I've had that experience or where you are.
So would you say you have pretty privilege?
Okay, I think so, but I'm not sure I've tried using it to my advantage before. I'm not sure I've done that. Have I? No, but I think I do. I think I do.
Okay. Has your skin tone ever made you feel invisible or conversely overly visible?
Of course, it has made me visible. I've gotten several compliments for my skin. Sometimes when I'm going out, Even some guys will be saying, ah, I love your skin is glowing. So I've gotten a lot of compliments for my skin. I've been visible because of my skin.
Do you think you have pretty privilege?
Um, yeah, I would say I think I do have pretty privilege.
And have you ever played that to your favor?
Yes,
How did
I'm
that make you feel?
I'm guilty of that. It made me feel good because there are certain times that okay, I would need to get something or do something, and I'm just like, you know what? I have this face card, so why not use it? And I'll just give like a puppy doggy eye just to get what I want. And I eventually get what I want. And I'm just like, oh my God, it makes me feel really good.
And when you use your pretty privilege, is it on men or on women?
Both gender.
Say slay. And what of when people criticize you for your looks? What if it's scenarios when people say, "Oh, you only got that role because you are pretty." How does that make you feel?
Well, I've not had that experience too. I've not been in a room where someone had the opportunity to say that to my face. Maybe behind, I don't know, because I'm not a magician, I'm not God that sees everyone's mind, heart, and all. But I've never ever been in any place where that is being said. But even if I was to be in that space and you say that to me, I wouldn't feel bad because one thing I've come to understand about life is that people have different perspective to life, and if you let it affect you, then you are going to be on a very long run that you might not come out from if you don't take time. So what people has to say about me doesn't matter. It's what I know about myself and what's the intention towards what I'm pursuing that matters to me.
Okay. Do you believe beauty standards in Nigeria are evolving, or are they still tied to colonial legacies of lighter skin preference?
Um, I believe beauty standards are evolving, but I also believe they are still tied to that. There's still a lot of colorism in our society, but I do believe that a lot of women now have grown to be so confident and love themselves, regardless of their skin tone.
Okay. And how do compliments or criticisms about your skin color shape your confidence?
Well, I love compliments anyway. I love compliments, and but sometimes in the society we find ourselves, you tend to ask yourself, this compliment, is it coming from a place of genuinity, or this person is just saying it because they have something they want to get from you or trying to get your attention. So basically, if you appreciate, if you compliment me as a person, I'll take it in as, oh, okay, thank you, right, I appreciate that. When there is no ulterior motive attached to it, so yeah, I enjoy compliments, and it's something I love to hear from people, even though um, I don't depend on people's compliments to be able to understand how beautiful I am.
As a beautiful light skinned Nigerian woman, how do you redefine beauty for yourself outside of what society expects of you or how society sees you? How do you see yourself in line of being beautiful?
Okay, I I think for me it's not just about my skin tone or how my face is shaped or how I look. A bit hairy, and I see that as beautiful. I have stretch marks, and I see that as beautiful. I have dark underarm, and I see that as beautiful. I look at myself and I tell myself every day, you're gorgeous. And I feel like every woman out there should do the same. Every woman is beautiful, regardless of your skin tone, regardless of how you look, you are beautiful. I feel like we are created, like I look at women and I just like see God's
Image and
wonderful
likeness.
work and his
Slay.
image and his likeness. And God did a fine job creating women. That's all I can say.
And finally, What's one message you would like to send to young Nigerian girls trying to overcome insecurity, especially with their skin complexion?
Okay, what I will say to them is that be confident with your skin. Don't be shy. Walk with pride with your skin, and just try to glow up your skin and look beautiful. Don't look down on your skin or yourself. Just carry yourself with pride.
My message to young Nigerian girls about beauty is that there's so much more to you than what you look like. I think attraction is something that you can manifest, and that is by letting your heart show and your smarts. For a woman, for every woman, my advice would be build what's within you. Build yourself to be so strong and so confident that no matter what people say to you or say about you, yes, sometimes it will hurt, but at the end of the day, those things don't really matter. Those are just white noise. All the outside noise and people's opinion and perspective of you doesn't really matter at the end of the day. The truth is that when you get to the end of the road of your life, or when you get to a certain age, you only just care about how you see yourself, how you feel about yourself. So build yourself up in a way that you know that you are treasured, because you are a treasure, most especially to yourself. Take out the need for family validation, for validation from friends or lovers. Just make yourself feel good and try to be good, because if you are not good, then you can never feel good. Peace comes from within. The same way beauty is all around us, meaning there's no way on earth that you can't be beautiful. You just have to see it first.
I would say, just like I said before, know within yourself that you are beautiful, and do not let anybody, don't let the beauty standards, don't let nobody tell you that you're less of yourself. That stretch mark is beautiful. The dark underarm is beautiful. Your skin tone is beautiful.
Basically, be authentic. That's just basically it. Just see yourself as the original of yourself. You don't need anybody to define who you are for you. You know yourself better than anyone out there. So why let what someone has to say about you bring down what you believe in yourself or what you see yourself to be? So what I would tell you is be authentic and always know that you are beautiful in your own way, and be focused on the impact you make, the light you bring to people around you. That is what matters, not what anyone thinks about you.
Thank you so much, beautiful people, for joining us today. On behalf of myself, Ella, Muna, and Sharon, we say God bless you. And we hope that you are able to find a lot of confidence within yourself. And remember that you are stunning as always, because as the guests have said, you were all made in God's image and likeness. So till next time, please like, share, subscribe, and join us in the conversation in the comment section. I love you, but God loves you more. Bye.